The idea is you call 911, and instead of just talking to someone, they can send you a text message, and you just tap a text, and now you're live on video.
Welcome back to another episode of The Pursuit of Purpose. My name is Chris Kiefer, and today I am joined by James Hatfield, who is one of the partners at LiveSwitch. And today we're going to be talking about LiveSwitch, but also just kind of the ever-changing landscape of the technology and AI and the age of Amazon and customer expectations. So without further ado, I'd like to first welcome on James, and thank you so much for coming on and being generous with your time, James.
Thanks for having me.
And then, so you had experience running a painting business. I'm curious, how did you end up there? Do you still own the painting company?
You never can plan your steps, right? But I did know. So my grandfather wanted me to be a painter, and my father wanted me to be a plumber. Okay, and it was a miracle for me to graduate high school because I like to skip school to go fishing. And this was, a long time ago. I'm dating myself, but once I graduated, thank goodness, I've got to pay for myself. I didn't come from anything, so but hardworking, men and women. So I learned how to paint a house head to toe. I went with what my grandfather wanted me to be, and then I started, you know, started my business, and I had multiple crews. We were painting residential, commercial, and eventually we started doing more power washing because the recurring revenue was a little bit more there, and it was just by happenstance. We were painting a residential house. Someone saw our equipment, walked over from the neighborhood, was like, "Hey, I don't need a full paint job. I do need a power wash. Can you guys do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah," in our sleep. Here's how much it is. Send a guy over. Did it a couple hours later. I was like, wow, that margin was pretty great. So the thing I wasn't good at though was my numbers. When I went to the bookkeeper, I did not understand what they were saying to me. I knew they were speaking English, but I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I felt like, man, I really need to educate myself if I want to do well, top and bottom line, and watch my money. So I put myself in through state school at night, and I learned how to run a bit the numbers. And then the big change happened there. University did change my course of career. And I never meant to. I always thought I'd be a painter for life. Honestly, I like the job, and I don't mind living on a ladder, and I like seeing the before and after, and I like the money. So I never thought I'd change.
Awesome. So that makes sense. Uh, I'm curious, where or how do you jump from? Because I've talked to quite a few painters who have ideas of starting an app or creating something, and making the jump from the trades to technology is not an easy jump. So how did, like you said, you bought into or bought a part of Live Switch? How did that work? And what was the like, aha, there's an opportunity here and go after it?
Yeah, so even before Live Switch, one of my business partners, he was running a landscaping company, and he had the same problem I had, which I don't understand the numbers. So he went to university himself, and then he built a system. This was over 20 years ago, that could take an income statement and balance sheet from a bookkeeper and convert it to plain language that a business owner can understand. This is how you're doing in your painting company. This is how you're doing landscaping. And I I heard of it, and he was like, "Well, do you want me to help? Do you want to help sell this thing? Because I'm pretty good at selling." So I was always running the marketing and sales for my painting power washing company. I was the guy out there, making sure we got paid and got the new business. So they're like, "Sure. I mean, I can try." So we started with nothing there. I literally was like, it was just, let's see what this can become. Well, it took off quick. Actually, so fast that I left my other companies, and we ended up becoming an Inc. 500 company, which means you're one of the fastest growing companies in America. And then that company became a multi-billion-dollar company, and we sold it to KKR. So that worked out. I did not ever intend to leave my painting company. It was just one of those crazy things after going through state school of a problem that I had, not knowing my numbers. And then that turned into the technology that really helped solve a problem. And then boom, that worked out.
And so after that, you then stumbled into this opportunity. You said there was something with like 911 calls.
Oh, yeah. So after that, we got into philanthropy. I started a nonprofit. My business partner started a nonprofit. And then we were like, well, we're not quite done. Let's build another billion-dollar company. And instead of starting from scratch, let's find a company and buy it this time since we have some capital. So we found a company out of Vancouver, Canada, and it happened to be with live video. It's one of like 4 companies in the world that do this thing called WebRTC, web real-time communication. That's not that important. It's just to know that not many companies do it. And I'm also got a product mind, so I got to, start building products, and I got the chance to work with the chief of police of 911. So we bought Live Switch, and then I had a chance to work with the chief of police of Washington D.C. to reinvent the 911 phone call using video, because that's what our company does. And now that everybody has 3 or 4 cameras in their pocket on their smartphone, the idea is you call 911, and instead of just talking to someone, they can send you a text message, and you just tap a text, and now you're live on video. And that video can stream from the citizen's camera right to the police car, fire truck, emergency medical. It's called situational awareness. But the idea was like, well, who else could use no app, tap a text, and see what you see, what I see, type of thing. Well, I met a guy in the moving industry, and a really credible guy. He's like, I'm telling the same story I'm telling you now, Chris. And this guy was like, James, you're sitting on a pot of gold. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, the most expensive thing I do as a business owner is I put one of my hourly wage guys in one of my trucks, and they drive out to who knows where in the hopes of getting a deal to get the money. And they're like, you should know that. And I'm like, oh, I should know that. And he's like, we'll use that to do virtual estimates. And I was like, all right. And I was like, will you pay me American money for this? He's like, yeah. And he was right. That was 2 years ago, and now we have thousands of users all over the world, and hundreds of all kinds of businesses using this every day, from plumbers to painters to electricians to power washers to holiday lights guys to restoration companies. It's wild, and we're under the hood of Service Titan and Jobber, and it has taken off. And so what
Do
we
you
try
know?
to
Have
do.
you heard of the company called Stream?
No.
Stream, I think it's STREEM, stream.io. They do, I want to say that they got bought by Home Advisor or some like big, service tech company. But it's a similar thing. I've never used it, but it's just, I was like, wait, are you maybe the backbone of that as well? But you're saying that Jobber and Service Titan, their virtual calls are just they're white labeling Live Switch.
Yeah, you have to have a live switch license, and we're bolted under the hood. Like, you just go into Jobber, go into Service Titan, hit the call, and we're in a bunch of other CRMs too. And you don't have to have a CRM to use our stuff. But yeah, there none of those companies did live video. Live video is so challenging. Like we did, if you remember WWE wrestling when they had all of the screens and the Tampa Thunderdome and the wrestlers were throwing them into TVs, we powered that. Like the NBA when they were in the bubble and they had all the fans, the All Star game. Like we did the Super Bowl this year. Like if you go to an MLB ballpark and scan a QR code and it puts you on the jumbotron, we're powering that. So companies come to us for their live video needs. It just so happened because of the 911 phone call reinvention, that I was like, I wonder if who else would use it. And it was just like following the breadcrumbs and listening, and bam, I'm right back home. Like being on a painting podcast, being on paint. Like when I'm talking to painters, I'm like, I'm home again. So it feels so great, honestly. Like I've been so encouraged by it.
So basically, I'm gonna, and this again, not rocket science, but I'm just processing the exact way this gets implemented for the typical painting company. Uh, I call a painting company or submit a web form, and the person in the CSR there could be like, "Let me connect you with an estimator," or potentially the CSRs are doing like pre-screen video calls and send a link right back to me, the homeowner,
Yep.
within minutes. And I'm on a video call, and they're like, "Yeah, go walk around your house. Let me see that." And that's essentially the product, correct?
That's a part of it. Yep. There's 3 pieces. We do help with sales, we help with operations, and then we help with recurring revenue and repeat business. So the sales end, you're nailing it. That's exactly what happens. You know, people painter near me, they go to Google, they make a phone call, do a quote, CSR gets on, sends them a text, show me the work, because it works 2 ways. There's 3 buckets of customers. We all know this, right? First bucket is someone already knows who you are. They saw your ratings. They got money. They need painting, and they don't want to date 3 painters before they make a decision. They're like, I already know I want you. I've got the money. Like, when can you start and how much is it? That's all they care about. Right. In the age of Amazon, when it used to be 2-day delivery, now it's overnight delivery. I want it overnight now. So you have a bucket of customers that are like, I want it now and I don't want to wait. And I really don't even want you to come over to my house. Like, just come over and tell me how much and get going. Right.
Yeah.
The other bucket of customers are your do-it-yourselfers and tire kickers, and they have no business talking to you, except for they want free consulting, which is a painful thing as a painting company, because you send your person out, they drive out, and They know good and well, you know good and well when you're on property, this person's going to get 2 pizzas and 3 friends, and they're going to paint. They're not going to hire me. So your
Right.
CSR can weed those people out. I don't want to drive out for that. Like they ask the discovery questions and then ultimately see the project, and they already know no money. And then the middle bucket of customers, the middle tier is the 1-2 punch, the hybrid. You see it, but you still want to drive out, sit at the dinner table, and close it, right? But we call it speed to lead because the face is what closes money. Like I'll go speak around the country and I'll ask, how many people your AI robot is your number one salesperson? Raise your hand. No hands. Nobody does that. The AI robot answers simple questions. What are your hours? Who do you serve? People close cash. And when someone's getting ready to spend 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 grand with me, they want to see you. And now the trust to the point when they see video, my painters are like, James, I closed the deal and I didn't have to drive out. I'm like, yep, that's your first bucket.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's that speed to lead. And that's mode one of how this is getting used.
And then it's recorded.
Everything's recorded and it's tuned up for remote assistance. So it's the reverse of a FaceTime call. So the customer actually sees themselves large and you, the bidder, small because they're going to walk around the property. And if they have crappy eyesight like I do, like, you can't do this on FaceTime. You can't do that on Zoom, right? It's gonna
Mm,
record, and your estimator or CSR can take remote photos, take notes, share their screen to walk them through a bid. Maybe it's a follow-up to a previous bid, and it will record everything. That way, it keeps everybody accountable. So if your CSR is selling world peace, you're like, "We don't sell world peace here." And in fact, we
right.
don't even do the work, and why are you charging that? So and it keeps the customer accountable, which is really important because we've all driven up, our crew is out there, and the customer like, oh yeah, your salesperson said they'd also paint the shed. Like,
Right.
I mean, you don't know. So now you have an instant replay like the NFL, and you can look like, no, no, no. See, we checked. No, no, but we can paint your shed, but it's going to cost this much more. And your team can watch that video on the way to the job. So when they get on property, they know exactly what was bid. And if there was already pre existing damage, right? The gutters are
Right.
already banged up. Because once you paint something or get on something, all of a sudden customers see damage they never saw before, and of course it was your painter. No, it wasn't. Check the instant replay. We didn't even come on site, and look, they were already dented, so we're not paying for that. So it
Right.
keeps
Right.
your customers accountable too.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, awesome. So that's I'm big in just like technology and like seeing where this is going. Are you guys, or is there discussion about trying to bring LiDAR or anything in to get way more accurate measurements instead of the customer being like, yeah, it looks like 15 feet, or, just like the tech is there. The complexity of transmitting that and building the model and all that, I'm sure that's far different than video, but it's certainly going to happen at some point.
Oh yeah, the evolution of technology is what it is. So I'll tell you from the nerdy side. Because we decided to do no apps, because we value the customer experience. When that customer calls, nobody wants to go and find an app to
Download,
download
yeah,
and
yeah,
remember that. Oh my goodness, never gonna happen. So we're like, let's remove that. Just tap a text and you're on, right? That's all you have to do. I had a guy the other day like, James, I got a 90-year-old on here. I'm like, yeah, they just have to tap a text. It's like easy, and everybody has a cell phone. For lidar, you have to have an app. See, we're bound to the browser. Eventually,
mm,
the browser will get lidar. Eventually, the browser will get geo. So we're
yeah,
stuck in the tension of when mobile phones will allow features, and a lot of it has to do with safety, first and foremost, which is why you don't always get access. But once you do, and we're already thinking about other ways to do measurements where I don't need lidar. We're
yeah, just
already
measuring,
measurements are a big part of things. We know that, but remember where we are today, right? The car doesn't fly itself yet or fully drive itself quite yet, but it's almost
yeah,
there. The same thing happens here. We want to start off with making your discovery calls awesome, right? Seeing what they see, just preventing a couple extra drive outs to customers who are the two pizzas and friends already. I fight against the gas tank. Our stuff is not expensive, right? It's very cheap. And but the next phases of this are not just with your lidar, but also with translation. Think about non-English speaking customers or staff, right? And translating that. Uh, the things that we do have now is instant recording when you're on property. So you do your pre-walk around, post walk around, before and afters, and customer testimonials. Because when you put real pictures and real videos of customers on your Google, you get ranked higher. They know when you're using AI and they know when you're using not good stuff. So when you use authentic stuff, put it on there. That's going to help you, right? And document, save your butt. The other thing our customers are doing are creating QR codes from LiveSwitch and leaving them behind on the property, whether it's on a garage, a downspout, or a deck for repeat business. Like if you stained a deck, put a sticker out there that's weatherproof that is the name of your company, your phone number, and a QR code that they can scan and take a video like, oh, I need another power wash now, or I need a soft wash of the driveway, or oh, I'm ready to get painting that shed. Because the thing we're trying to help our customers do is box Google out and claim your property. You want to claim your
Mm.
property with stickers. And that way, because this is what customers do, we all do it. We do it every day. Like, oh, I think I need to get my deck stained. Well, where do you go? You walk out to the deck. You consider maybe doing it yourself, but imagine you saw a sticker out there. Maybe you just bought a new house. Oh, I guess that's my painter. I guess that's my soft washer. Great. Scan it, call them, and get. At least I'm a speed bump to Google. I don't want people Googling painters near me. That sucks. I want to claim the property. So some of our guys are sending mailers out and say, hey, when painting comes up, scan this QR code, take a video of what you want done, and we'll be right out to do the work. Claim your territory. That is what it's going to race. My plumbers are putting it on toilets and water heaters. My HVAC guys are putting it on HVAC units. My electricians on the electrical box. My gutter guys on downspouts. You will watch the great claiming of residential and commercial with stickers. It's already happening.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Where the translation thing, I've seen a few. Lex Friedman actually has done a few podcasts with other countries, and there's real time AI translation that is happening. I'm sure that that's another one of those things that you guys don't need to develop the language model. You could just plug that into the audio feed, and now they're hearing me in their natural language and I'm hearing them in my language.
Correct. And much, much more.
Yeah. And
And
then
much,
yeah,
much
just
more.
and automatically, like, what else?
So just think about what video is. It's a data stream. So we connect people point to point anywhere on the globe. Like my customers, I have a guy, he's an 8-figure moving company, and his manager is in Poland, and his all 37 salespeople are in South Africa, and he does all the work in Seattle. So we're point to point connecting people, and you're streaming data. Video is data. Audio, what you're listening to, that's data. And we can stream that, and then we can take it's all data, and we can put that through these LLMs to do all kinds of stuff. Reminder to salespeople, hey, remember to upsell here. Remember to do that. Post video, like here's the action items. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we promised. Right.
Mm,
So you, but again, we are in the phase of adoption. I've got to get right today. What I've got to get you thinking about is, do my people even want to be on video? Forget all the fancy stuff. Right. Are you willing to tell your people, hey, put on our uniform and get on a video first? That call comes in, it's a race to the face. It's a race to see the work because we've had it happen where you say, I'll be out there tomorrow. And then you call them, hey, I'm on my way. Like, don't bother. Someone came yesterday afternoon and we already bought the business. They already closed. So you're on the clock. So the faster you can see the project, do your discovery, you're in the pole position to win. And it's all
mm,
about speed. All the rest of the fancy stuff, I get it. I want it too. But we also design for simplicity, meaning I can teach your team member to use this in less than 5 minutes. If they can send a text, they can use our stuff. And your customer needs no training. They just tap. That we have to make it as easy as picking up a phone call. Because you start over engineering stuff. Like I lived a life on a ladder. My guys, this for me, this is we went CB radio, if you remember those. Then we went Nextel walkie talkie, if you remember those. And now we're doing live switch. I want to be the CB radio and Nextel walkie talkie. And I already am over many industries. Like I want you to see what they see. And think of
mm.
your staff. When your guy's on a ladder and all of a sudden you see a cracked window. Hey, boss, I didn't crack this window, but all right, pull out your phone, show it to me. Let's take a video of that and show it to the customer. We didn't crack that. That was already there. Right. So it gets used all over the place. You're weaving video in from first touch to operations to last touch to leave behind.
Yep.
You use the cameras in your pocket. We don't need any hardware. So we want to tap into that first, and then we're going to get really fancy with it later. But I'm not going to compromise on simplicity because I know what my guys. A lot of good painters don't like software, like
Yeah.
actual guys on the ladder.
What's your favorite estimating tools to couple? Because obviously seeing it, but I still got to figure out the price. And I'm assuming that you guys, that would be it's my guess is that it's very the complexity of like adding that to the tool. Because I would say my view of technology and software right now is it's integration first. Integration and your API is the most valuable thing that any software company could focus on, because I feel like you or any other company doesn't need to solve estimating if you're just the easiest and most broadly like easy to use video live streaming. And then it's like you want to tie into our API to auto generate and create QR codes and links and automatically send them and everything like that. You can do all that through our API. I don't know if that's true or not, but to me that's like these niche apps that do one thing really really well. That's the future. And then you just are connecting the like this really specific app with the best CRM with the best estimating tool. And anyways, that's my view of
Yeah, yeah.
how
No, I mean, the
like
lane that
software
we
is
are
going.
staying in, the lane that we own, that's hard. Our Coca-Cola recipe is live video and recorded video. That's our API, to your point. Like, that's where we plug in. Everything else can be plugged in on top of it. That's our core. From the boots on the ground, CSR, estimator, painter, what we're trying to do is, again, manage those 3 buckets of customers. The first bucket where a job, all you have to do is look at it, you know how much it is. They only want a shed painted or a garage door painted or a soft wash on the driveway, where I don't really need to drive out for that bid. I can just look at it through your what you're showing me with live switch there, and I can estimate it. The other one is to get the tire kickers out of here. Like and the third one is, hey, you've seen the project, but you still want to drive out, do your measurements, close them at the dinner table. Boom, 1-2 punch it, right? So that's where we're trying to like slot in. And then the rest, to your point, as we add in and all the rest of the plugins and the different fancy things to have the measurements tools and all the rest of the stuff, yes, we are on our way there. We're just nobody's there today yet.
Yeah. Um, anything else that you like talking about? Common misconceptions. Just closing remarks before I move into my wrap up.
Yeah, I mean, I understand change is hard. If you've been driving out for 20 years, sitting on dinner tables, closing business, that's what we compete against that. Second is, oh, does my team want to be on video? We compete against that, right? So these are the challenges. But once adoption, my favorite thing is like one of our paint companies start using our stuff, and like James, the first time I used it, I didn't have to drive out 3 minutes and back. It was such an easy thing. I closed it right there. Like I've got a convert. That's the magic moment. You gotta touch this stuff. Like, you just gotta touch it. You gotta use your CB radio or Nextel for the first time, like, "Oh, that's cool." So, that's kinda what I'll leave you with. Just I want my goal is to get your wheels turning today about what other people and other painting companies and other home stores are already doing today, so the race is on. Speed to lead. Thank you, Amazon Prime. Our customers have different expectations than they did 10 years ago, and we need to meet those, and we need to be fast.
Yeah, makes sense. Three book recommendations.
Yep. Well, one, I'm a spiritual guy, so the Bible, so there's one. That's an easy one. Two, I am an inventor, and this is not about politics. I'm apolitical, right? But there's a book about Elon Musk and when he was creating Tesla that I think all business owners should just read that part. Again, put politics and stuff aside. I know that's woo, enough of that. But like the Elon Musk biography is killer. Okay, it's sitting right there behind me.
Is it
And
Walter Isaacson that wrote that one?
yes, it is. And that
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
shelf right there is all Walter Isaacson's. I've got
yeah,
Carnegie, Einstein, the founding
yeah,
fathers. Like, oh my goodness, anything from Isaacson and is awesome. So
yeah.
I highly recommend that. Longer reads, right? Um, Another book will be, well, I can name it, but you'll never find it, is I Dare You. It's like literally a 75-year-old book. I don't even know if they print it out anymore. So maybe I'll leave you with a book called Gung Ho. Gungho. It's about a guy who goes into a failing factory and totally restores it on the back of using data. And every business owner that uses data and puts data in front of their team, it changes everything. Like I literally, when I ran sales teams, would put whiteboards all over the office and we track. I make people write it up there with their hands and like you could see it because what you track, like the top home service companies that I'm in front of and CEOs that owners, like the guy who has 73 or excuse me, 37 people in South Africa doing all his bidding for his moving company. At 4 times a day, he puts data up, and one of them is speed to lead. How fast did he respond? How long were we on the call? How many close rates did we have? What's our turn? What's our conversion? What's our average cost? Like, use your data to drive your business. And Gung Ho is that book.
Is that's not 75 years old, or is that a different book that you decided not to
Yeah, the
share?
75-year-old one was the one I didn't really put. That's a bonus. I dare you. You won't even find it. I dare you to find it. But it's literally a book that's like you can read it in 30 minutes and it's gonna blow your mind.
What's it called?
I dare you.
Oh,
Let
the
me show
book
you.
is called I Dare You.
Yeah, it's right here. Look at this book. I mean, this is crazy. Look how old this thing is.
It's just called I Dare You.
I dare you. And the name of the author is Danforth, Danforth. Look how little this thing
Oh,
is.
Amazon has it.
No way.
Yeah.
Joker is old. I mean, my book
Published
smells.
in 1931.
Yes, man. Almost 100 years old. You're welcome.
And what's that about?
Get off the couch and get something done. Like, life is short. Don't be like, yeah, it's going to like kick your butt.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Movie suggestion or show.
TV show. My partner is a star of an ABC television show called Free Enterprise. One of our nonprofits, it's called Inmates to Entrepreneurs. We put thousands and thousands of incarcerated men and women through our programs. We even hire them at our company. And I think we're almost done with season 2. But it'll, get the box of tissues. I mean, but this is like taking people from prisons and restoring them, and now they're business owners. It's incredible.
Free Enterprise.
Yep. And my business partner who owns LiveSwitch with me is a star of the show.
Brian Hamilton.
Yep, that's him.
Awesome. Well, James, this was super awesome. I mean, this is why I love podcasting, is just getting to chat about where things are going, technology and all this stuff. Yeah. And I mean, we've all experienced tastes of like that instant. It's like, wow, that was fast. I did not like, I mean, I appreciate it, but I didn't expect this type of company to be able to deliver that, and they win you over with like, man, if they're this dialed on that, what else, how else are they, what other organization or software are they using to deliver on their promises,
Yeah, we're not messing around. And if you want to look, anyone listening, I'd love to meet you, right? Like anyone listening to Chris's podcast, like your special offers, you can come right to me and we can talk. Because I'm a business owner. Usually, if I get on with you, we'll end up talking business more than we even talk about tech. So just come and find me at liveswitch.com, liveswitch.com. And when you click on demo, just say, I want to talk to James. I listen to Chris's podcast. Like, give me James. Or find me on LinkedIn, James Hatfield. Like Hatfields and McCoy is my great uncle is Devil Lance Hatfield. So I have a little American history in the blood. But yeah, come and get me.
Awesome. Well, James, thank you so much. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you around for sure. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Chris Kiefer, and my mission is to champion the relentless pursuit of purpose. And what that means to me is to be an example, a champion, someone that is in the trenches, working and showing and winning and trying and failing in how to pursue a deeper and more meaningful life with the people that I love, with my kids, with my friends, with our family, and also just be a champion and example of entrepreneurship and following my passion and doing what I believe I'm called to on this earth. And so if that inspires you in some way, please share this episode. If you want, like, subscribe, share, whatever, do all the stuff. It means the world to me to get this message and get these guests that I have out there. And if you're interested in any of the book recommendations or looking up other episodes, the movie list, you can visit my website, chriskiefer.com, for all the details on the show, and also check out the Boolean review software, as well as the Boolean automation consulting company that I own for home service businesses. So thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next episode.